In a recent episode of her podcast, What Works, host Tara McMullen encourages us to ask this question much more often. Wait, why am I doing this? Especially when it comes to the adoption of new technologies, which can be broken down into two categories: labor-saving devices and capacity-creating devices. But new technologies, like the AI tools that you're likely seeing everywhere, rarely fall into one bucket or another, but instead live somewhere along this spectrum. And placing them is a useful way to evaluate whether or not a new technology is worth it for you. Labor-saving devices have some important characteristics. They reduce the time and effort needed to complete a task without imposing new ones. Capacity-creating devices, on the other hand, allow you to do something you couldn't do before. With that new capacity comes what Cal Newport calls an overhead tax, in his book Slow Productivity, associated with your overall workflow. It's yet another thing for you to manage. Before getting to the specifics of AI, McMullen references the book More Work for Mother and talks about the introduction of devices like the vacuum cleaner and the egg beater, which allowed for certain tasks to be completed faster, but then also set up the expectation that that task would be done more frequently, without help from others, along with expectations like, now that you've got an egg beater, you better start making some fancier dishes. So with the introduction of any new individual tool, it's worth looking at not just the singular task that tool helps you complete, but what it also means for the overall workflow of cleaning the house or of making meals. Are you actually saving time and effort? Or are you just adding more elements to your to-do list? Many folks are facing those same questions through the bombardment of AI tools that are being added to just about every piece of software you work with. Sure, your podcast or video editor might be able to automatically create clips for you, but how good are those clips? To what degree do you have to re-edit them? What amount of effort is involved in posting them? In a lot of cases, AI tools aren't labor-saving devices. They're capacity-creating devices, so that instead of reducing work, they're intensifying it, adding work stress to the potentially fewer number of humans who are expected to leverage these AI tools. But instead of getting sucked into all of those capabilities, McMullen encourages us to step back and ask that question, wait, why am I doing this? What's my desired outcome with this work? And what are my options for getting there? Is doing more of something or a slightly fancier version of something worth it? Or is it just a distraction? As McMullen says, just because you can do something new with one of these AI tools, it doesn't mean that you should. At the same time, just because it's a new technology, that doesn't automatically mean that you shouldn't use it. You've got to ask those deeper questions around why you're doing this, your desired outcomes, and your options for getting there, while paying attention to the degree to which any new tool actually saves labor or just creates new capacities and therefore added responsibilities. For more, do go check out the What Works podcast with Tara McMullen. These ideas come from the May 21st, 2026 episode titled Just Because You Can, The Egg Beater Effect Revisited. If you've enjoyed the way that I've sketched out these ideas, this is a skill that I teach. It's called sketchnoting and also visual note-taking, and it is a technology of sorts that helps me reach my desired outcome of engaging meaningfully with good podcasts like this one and the good books that I'm reading, and then remembering more of those ideas because of these visual summaries that I sketch out. If you too would like to build this skill, check out the resources at verbaltovisual.com. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.